We're nearing the end of our challenge. What changes have you done so far to your eating pattern? Have you seen some good outcomes? Do you think you will be able to meet your goal? If you've had good outcomes for the first 3 weeks, then consistency will enable you to achieve your goal. But if you've seen no positive results, you may want to rethink your goals. Did you create a SMART one that is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound? Maybe it's time to reassess and modify your goal. To continue with the journey, we review our week 4 topic, which is all about fats. On day 21, we discussed some of the function of fats. Fats are not always undesirable. We need them for brain and nerve functioning, hormone production, and energy. 90% of body fat is subcutaneous, and 10% is visceral or omental, or what you call your belly fat. The latter carries a high risk for chronic diseases such as metabolic syndrome, obesity, and diabetes type 2. Like amino acids, there are essential fats that the body cannot make, so we need to take them in our diet. These are omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Both are polyunsaturated and help in lowering LDL that clog our blood vessels. Monounsaturated fatty acids are also good fats. These unsaturated fatty acids are plant-based, but not all plant-based oils are unsaturated. Coconut oil and palm oil are high in saturated fatty acids. Regarding omega-3 and 6, omega-3 has the anti-inflammatory effect because it is converted to eicosapentaenoic acid, or EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA, which prevent formation of arachidonic acid, an inflammatory substrate. That doesn't mean we should limit our intake of omega-6, because inflammation is one of our body's defense mechanisms. Instead, we should have a greater proportion of omega-3 in our diet compared to omega-6. What are rich sources of omega-3? These are tuna, mackerel, salmon, soy products, canola oil, wheat germ, flaxseed, pumpkin seed, and walnuts, to name a few. Omega-6 fatty acid can be found in sunflower seeds and oil, sesame seeds and oil, almond, avocado, and coconut oil. The following are rich sources of monounsaturated fatty acids: extra virgin olive oil, hazelnut, macadamia, safflower oil, and canola oil. The challenge for day 21 was to read the label of all the foods in your pantry and identify the saturated fat content and determine whether you have more foods high in saturated fat, that is 20% or more, or low in saturated fat, that is 5% or less. On day 22, we looked at cholesterol, a waxy, fat-like substance in all cells of our body. We need cholesterol to make hormones and other substances. We also discussed HDL, a high-density lipoprotein that carries cholesterol from other parts of the body to the liver, thus it's called good cholesterol. LDL, on the other hand, carries cholesterol to arteries, which leads to buildup of plaque. VLDL contributes to buildup of plaque in arteries by carrying mainly triglycerides. In our fat challenge, we look at this figure that shows the different foods that modify LDL cholesterol. Those that are above the line increases LDL cholesterol, like unfiltered coffee, solid fats, and sugar. Fish and filtered coffee do not affect LDL cholesterol. The following foods decrease LDL cholesterol: soluble fiber like oats, barley, and psyllium, plant sterols or stanols found in vegetable oils, seeds, nuts, grain products, vegetables, legumes, and fruits, tomato, unsaturated oils, almonds, flax seeds, soy, hazelnuts and walnuts, avocado, turmeric, green tea, pulses, fiber, and whole grains. The challenge is to use at least 3 of the LDL-lowering food in your diet. On day 23, I shared a healthy fatty snack that you can make in your kitchen. We also hear about Sarah's story and how she likes to eat M&Ms for snacks. We compare the calories in these two snacks and the other ingredients that do not add value to her eating pattern. The challenge was to make your own chocolate snack and be mindful of the nutrition label. Keep the saturated fat below 5% for each serving. On day 24, we hear Tess' story and her lipid profile, and what contributed to the result. We discussed how she improved her LDL and triglycerides by eating more lean meat, fish, leafy greens, fiber, and lowered her saturated fat and added sugar, as well as adding exercise to the mix. The challenge is to have your lipid profile tested and identify what food you can add to your diet to improve your numbers. On day 25, we discussed virgin coconut oil as a source of medium-chain fatty acid and why the outcomes vary for people who take VCO. We learned that medium-chain fatty acids are metabolized differently. One-third enters portal circulation, while two-thirds are transported via chylomicron as triglyceride. If not utilized and metabolized, this becomes LDL, so VCO can be a double-edged sword depending on your lifestyle. We also stress the importance of consuming more omega-3 versus omega-6 in our diet. On day 26, we look at one particular oil that provides a lot of health benefits. Extra virgin olive oil has anti-atherosclerotic potential, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant effect due to its polyphenol, tocopherol, and phenolic compounds. I shared a vegetarian adobo recipe that used extra virgin olive oil to impart fatness to the dish. For this vegetarian adobo recipe, we use 1 cup or 1 can of young jackfruit, 1 cup shiitake mushroom, 1 cup pressed tofu, 1/2 cup vinegar, 1/4 cup soy sauce, 3 bay leaves, 1 teaspoon peppercorn, 1 bulb garlic minced, 1 medium onion chopped, 1/4 cup extra virgin olive oil. Simply heat 2 tablespoons oil and brown tofu on all sides, then set aside. Sauté garlic and onion until aromatic, and you can add the young jackfruit and shiitake mushroom until tender. Add vinegar and deglaze the pan, then add the soy sauce, bay leaf, and peppercorn. Add the tofu back and simmer. Serve hot. On day 27, we discussed the benefits of intermittent fasting and how it can be comparable to prolonged exercises when body uses up all glycogen stores and switches to burning fat for energy. There are different types of fasting, like fasting for 2 alternating days a week and eating only 500 calories on those days. There's also the time-restricted fasting where you eat for 12 hours and then fast for another 12 hours. That is, you can eat from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and fast from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. The 4:3 intermittent fasting is eating a low-calorie diet for 3 consecutive days, then eating a regular calorie diet for 4 days. The challenge is to fast for a week using one of the strategies mentioned.